Hey, what's up? Last Layer King here. Today I'm going to be going over another 3 cycle you can set up with double weak swap. And that cycle looks like this. It'll be, if you use a UB buffer, it'll be to UF to RU. But before I go over this, let's do a quick review over how we would solve parity. So while memoing edges, and I'm going to assume here that you memo edges first and you don't know whether or not you have parity while memoing edges. If you do memo corners first, that's just more information you have for edges. But if you don't know whether or not you have parity going into edge memo, then you would try to weak swap your buffer to UL so that you can get a UB-UL swap in the case that you have parity. However, if you have already hit the UL piece, I went over that the next best target to weak swap to was RU. And the reason RU was so good is because we could do an S-slice setup into a UB-UL swap. So we can do the same parity algs that we would do for a UB-UL swap, but with an S-slice setup. The same sort of concept works with double weak swap. So the ideal double weak swap setup I would have with a UB buffer is that when I hit the buffer, I would shoot it to UL, right here. And then if I hit the UL piece, I would shoot it to UF. And this will generate this UPerm setup. Now suppose I am memoing and I hit the UL piece before I hit my buffer. So I'll shoot the buffer piece to RU. I can still do double weak swap, and I'm going to double weak swap in such a way that the RU piece ends up in UF. These two positions here are very similar. So this UPerm I can solve like this. And this position here is an S-slice setup into the same UPerm. And I can do the alg and do an S to finish the cube. So what does that mean about the double weak swap algorithms? We'll take a look at this 3 cycle plus twist case. So here we've got this UPerm setup with UB to UF to UL, and we have a corner twist. In this case here, we have UB to UF to RU, and we have the same corner twist. So for this case here, the alg is basically just a back soon, U prime soon U. And for this case here, just like we did an S prime setup into a UPerm, we can do an S prime setup into that 3 cycle plus twist alg. This will work for any corner twist because the S prime setup will never affect any of the corners that you're trying to cycle. It'll only affect the edge which is going from RU to UL. The same concept works for most 3 cycle plus flip cases. So here we've got this UPerm here, the buffer is flipped, and then we have this piece flipped here. And then in this case here we have buffer. If this was oriented the other way, it would go to here, so it's the same cycle. And the buffer is flipped and this piece is flipped. So it's the same case, except here we have weak swapped the buffer to RU and we've weak swapped the RU piece to UF. So for this 3 cycle plus flip, I would do an alg like this. And for this case here with the initial weak swap on RU, I would just do an S prime setup. So if you have a 3 cycle plus flip case like this, and the flipped edge is on the S slice, then the normal 3 cycle plus flip alg is not going to work because your S slice setup is going to move the flipped edge. So there's only 2 cases here. The flipped edge could be here or it could be here. So if the flipped edge is here, then you're going to want to do the alg for the flipped edge being here, because this is where the flipped edge will be after you do the S slice setup. And then if the flipped edge is here, you're going to want to do the alg for the flipped edge being here. So for this case here, instead of doing an S slice setup into this 3 cycle plus flip where the flipped edge is in the same spot, we actually need to go into this 3 cycle plus flip case, because now we have the flipped edge here, and this is where the flipped edge will be after the S slice setup. So what if your buffers are UF and UFR? Well, normally you would weak swap your buffer piece to UR to set up a UF-UR swap, and then if you hit the UR piece, you would double weak swap to UB if that piece was available. So the same sort of thing works if you are not able to weak swap on UR. So if you weak swap your buffer piece to LU so that you can do an S-slice setup into parity, you can double weak swap the LU piece to UB. And then you can do an S move into any alg that you would want to do with this 3 cycle. So that could be a 3 cycle plus flip or a 3 cycle plus twist. Noting that if you have 3 cycle plus flip, you'll have to do a different 3 cycle plus flip alg if your flipped edge is on the S slice. Setting up this double weak swap cycle is not going to be as intuitive as setting up the U-perm cycle because there are a couple flipped pieces on the cube. So both of these pieces in the UR and UF locations need to be misoriented in order to get this cycle to work. So let's take a quick example here. So we've got buffer to here to here. So now we have buffer to here, and we hit the buffer piece, and we want to weak swap this to RU because UL is solved. But we have to misorient this piece because we're weak swapping the top color to the side. And I'd gone over this in my video on advanced parity. So this piece is going to go to here. And now we have the buffer weak swapped to RU. And now we have buffer to here, and we've hit the RU piece. So we want to get this into UF. And it might be tempting because we hit the top side to shoot this to the top. But if we go buffer to here, we'll find that this piece is oriented, but in this cycle here, it's misoriented. So what really needs to go to the top is the sticker of the initial weak swap. So we had weak swap to RU, so this RU sticker needs to go to UF. But here we hit the UR sticker, so this is going to need to go to FU. And now we get this piece misoriented as it should be. And now we can finish edges. And now that we've got our edges done with this weak swap cycle setup, we can do the 3 cycle plus twist alg on this corner. So whenever you weak swap to RU, remember you would always shoot the top color sticker to the side and the side color sticker to the top. The same thing goes if you want to do double weak swap. So if you hit the side color sticker of the RU piece, you shoot it to the top of UF. And if you hit the top color sticker of the RU piece, you'll shoot it to the side. Another case to consider is if you have parity. So if we take a look at the position here, we already have our buffer piece weak swapped into RU, and we have the RU piece in the buffer. So what we're going to want to do here is we're going to shoot this to the side because we have the top color in the buffer. So this is going to go to here to here. And now we've got both of these edges set up as they should be for the double weak swap cycle, just like this. So now we have buffer to here, and we have hit the UF piece. So if you were memoing, this would be an odd target because you have basically weak swapped these pieces and treated them as solved. So this would be an odd target. So whenever you get an odd target, you have to undo the second weak swap. So we'll do buffer to here to here. And now the first weak swap is still there on RU, so we know we have parity on RU. So we'll do an S-slice setup into the parity alg. Now let's do some example solves. So we have buffer to here, which goes to here, which goes to here, and now we've hit the buffer piece and we've already memoed UL. So we hit the side color of the buffer, so we're going to shoot it to the top, so this goes to here. This goes to here, and now we've hit the UR piece, so we're going to shoot it to, not the top, but we're going to shoot it to the side. So we're going to shoot this piece to here. And this will set up double weak swap. And then this piece goes to here. And now we've hit the UF piece. So we've treated the UF piece as the buffer now, so we're going to cycle break. So this piece is going to go to here, which is a piece I have not memoed yet. This goes to here, finishing the cycle. So once again, we have buffer to here, to here, to here, to here, to here, weak swapping to here, weak swapping to here, cycle breaking to here, to here, to here. And you'll notice that in corners there is a corner twist. So now I will solve corners. And now I will leave this corner twisted, and I will solve edges just as I memoed them. So we had buffer to here, which went to here, which went to here, and then we weak swapped to here. So now I've got the buffer piece weak swapped in RU, and this went to here, and now we've got this double weak swap set up. This went to here, and then we cycle broke on this piece, and we cycle broke over to here. And then we had here to finish the cycle. And now we have 3 cycle plus twist. So we can do an S prime setup into the 3 cycle plus twist alg for this cycle. Okay, let's go on to the next example solve. So we have buffer to here, which goes to here, which goes to here. And then because we've memoed UL, we're going to weak swap this to RU. So we hit the top color, so we're going to shoot it to the side, so it goes to here, which goes to here, And now we've hit the UR piece. So we hit the top color, so we're going to shoot it to the side of UF. So we're going to shoot this to here, And then because our double weak swap is for the UF piece and we hit the side color, we have a flipped edge. And the flipped edge happens to be here. So now I will solve corners. And now I'll go on to edges. So we had here to here. And then we had here to here. And then we had here, and we weak swapped to here. And then we had here to here. And then we weak swap this piece over to here, which goes to here. And now we have these 2 pieces set up, and then this is flipped as well because there's a flip here. So we now have our flip on the S slice, so we actually need to do the 3 cycle plus flip for if the flip was here. So I'll do S prime, and then I'll do the 3 cycle plus flip alg, and then S to finish. Here is our last example. So we have buffer to here, which goes to here, which goes to here, and now we hit the buffer. So we hit the side color of the buffer, so we're going to shoot it to the top of UR. So this is going to go to here, which goes to here, which goes to here, and now we hit the UR piece. So we hit the side color, so we're going to shoot this to the top, so this is going to go to here, which goes to here, and this goes back to UF. And this is the end of our memo, and there's nothing else. So this is kind of an odd target, so we're going to do our last cycle buffer to here to undo the double weak swap. And now solving corners. So now I have 1 corner target left, so I'll go on to edges. So we had buffer to here, to here, and then we had here, weak swapping this to here. And then we had to here, and then we had here, and we weak swapped this piece to UF. And now it's misoriented, so we have the double weak swap set up. And then we had buffer to here, and then we're undoing the swap on UF. So now we're left with a UB to RU swap, so we can do the UB to RU swap parity alg. So that is it for this video. I hope you found it instructive, and I will catch you in the next video.